How you doing there? This is Octavia, the founder of Karen Full. I am here with Elias, and I just want you to please go over and subscribe, setting your notifications to my YouTube channel, because I'm going to be dropping a video that explains a very sensitive subject. It's about death, the D word. How I went ahead and introduced that concept to Elias right literally when he started talking. So please, if you're interested in that, you want to talk about some tough subjects and how I went by doing it, maybe it can help you, please tune in. So we'll talk to you soon. Later. Subscribe. So this is how I showed Elias that I was going to be talking to him about his father. This is a picture of his father and him when he's been held when he was a baby. Then I introduced another picture, a family picture. Elias, myself, and him being held by his father. I'm just letting Elias know at this point that I am about to start discussing with him about his father. And in this particular situation, I have a picture of organs. And in this case, I indicate that his heart is no longer working by crossing it out, is how I pretty much show him. His father passed of Pulmonary Atresia. It's a condition that he had since his father was born, had open heart surgery and everything. But it got to a point in his life where the heart started to develop complications, and he passed of heart failure. Right here, I'm indicating that, again, I am talking about your father, and I'm talking about his heart. And what's going on with this heart is it's no longer working. I crossed it out to symbolize, again, it's not working. This is just the best way that I can kind of like make it make sense, you know. I have some ice here. I'm just introducing this to you. I'll show you a little bit later what I do with the ice. Because I want to prepare Elias for what he's about to see when it comes to his father, ahead of time, I made what's called a casket. In my particular religion, how we bury the dead. We either bury the dead, cremate them. So in this particular situation, that's what I was showing. I was making a casket, and this dog, or teddy bear, is what I'm using to symbolize who his father. This is where his father would be doing. He would be laying in something very similar, which is a box that would be covered up with blankets, and his father would be asleep. I continue to make reference to this is his father. It will look very similar to this. I let my son know that we'll be going somewhere, and this is the setup. So here I'm just making the symbolization of a casket. I have the box. I cover it up with in this case it's a little pillowcase. I cover it up with the white pillowcase, and each step that I do, so he doesn't get lost in the sauce, get lost in the fact that I'm just tucking in the bear in. I want to keep letting him know that what you're looking at here is what you're going to be seeing him do. Repetition is very important when you're dealing with someone with autism. Now I start talking about the things that he's going to feel or notice. In this situation, I make a point to direct you to looking at his hands, or in this case, the paws. But I indicate that his hands will be cold. So there goes the ice. I actually have Elias touch my hands. So that's why I make them cold, because the body is cold at this point. And I do that hand thing that sometimes you see at a funeral where their hands are crossed in front of them. So that's what I do, just to show my son, hey, this is what's going to be happening. His hands will be crossed and they'll be cold. And that's all you'll see. Something I notice is that there's sometimes little, flowers or bouquets on top of the person. And so I just do the same thing. I want everything to look like it would be when my son goes in there. I have to prepare him for therefore there's less anxiety, less surprise. And so I just show him that, at the end all, this is what it looks like. It's going to be in this casket. It's going to be covered up with flowers. I'm using these vitamins, these set of vitamins to symbolize people that will be there. Elias was doing his vitamins and sorting them out at the time. So he's like, why are you using my stuff? So that was him coming over to take back what I was using. And I'm like, hold on. Let me do this first. So I'm symbolizing that this is what it's going to look like at the funeral, back to the casket. And these little bottles here are the people that will be there. And they will be facing the casket. And I just set it up to where what he'll be seeing is people come up one by one to the casket, and they'll be pretty much standing there staring at his father. I even do a little bit like where he may see someone up there a little bit longer, and standing up there, so he's prepared for what he's going to see. It's nothing. The number one stressor is the unknown. So it's clear that these individual containers are going to be people that he's seen before. So I'm showing him pictures of his father's family, his sister, his brother, his cousins, that all these people he will most likely see there that he's familiar with. And they will all be there similarly doing the same thing. So I indicate that. I just continue to let him know, again, your father's not going to get up and start talking to people. He's still sitting there. He's cold once the heart leaves the body. So I'm teaching him some biology too. Like once your heart leaves the body, it's cold. And so don't expect to get up there and start talking to him. He's not going to answer back. Something that he's going to hear and see is people crying. So I drew a picture of a sad face and tears coming down and showing him that some of these attendees that he will see will be crying. So him to be prepared for that. Something else I also introduced is there will be a program or an obituary that he may have. I helped create the obituary for his father, so I already had it on hand, what it would look like. So I just gave Elias a symbolization, like there's going to be a picture, there's going to be a beginning and the end of his lifespan, and on this day, this time, that's when his father had passed away. And I just pretty much at this point just put it all together. Here is the casket. This is your father's passing. Again, this is a situation where his eyes will be closed. He will no longer hear. Everything will be shut down at this point, and it will be no more. And what happens after that point is his father then goes away. So I remove it. As you see here, that I'm indicating that I will sometimes be crying. I want him to be familiar and understand that I'm going to be sad just like everyone else because I missed his father just the same. This is a really hard situation for me to suck it all in, just to be able to teach and to show him. Many times, my son would ask, where's dad? Where is he coming home? Where is he? Things like that. And I wanted to just let him know that that's no longer the case. And we're going to be missing him. These people are going to be missing him. And that's what happened. Thank you so much for watching and allowing me to introduce you to this process of how I shared and introduced death to my son. Something that's really hard, and something that I expect any and all parents to teach their children in so many different ways. Here I did a little puppet show in the best way I knew how. Hopefully this helps you and you can do the same later.